Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now Ethereum is running into this very important line of resistance while Bitcoin is consolidating in this new pattern in the short term. And on top of that, in 1 day from now, a new Fed meeting will be happening, which could heavily affect prices in the short term. So I'll be talking about that in just a moment. Definitely stick around. First of all, we need to talk about the upcoming FOMC meeting, also known as a Fed meeting, which is happening tomorrow. And usually these Fed meetings is basically where we see the Federal Reserve change the underlying interest rate, also known as the Fed funds rate. And depending on what these changes are, they can affect the market in the short term. And right now, as of recording this video, the Fed funds rate is sitting at 5.5%, which is also known as 550 basis points on the high end, because really the Fed funds rate is actually a target range, which is currently in between 5.25% to 5.5%, but let's just call it 5.5% if we're looking at the high end of the range. And if you're looking at what the futures market is pricing in right now for what we could be expecting with tomorrow's FOMC meeting, also known as a Fed meeting, right now the market is pricing in a 97% chance of interest rates staying the same with tomorrow's Fed meeting, basically staying at that 550 basis points on the high end. And the other 3% is expecting a rate cut. That is right, around 3% of the market is expecting a 25 basis point cut, which means reducing interest rates by 0.25%. Now, personally, I think it's extremely unlikely we will see a rate cut tomorrow. And so going off these probabilities, it's almost certain that we're going to see no change in interest rates with tomorrow's Fed meeting. But of course, nothing is guaranteed about the future. So if we see an outcome other than no change in interest rates, that is where we could see a lot more volatility in the markets. For example, if we somehow see a rate cut tomorrow, then we'll likely see a massive pump across the crypto market and also the stock market. But on the other hand, if we somehow see a 25 basis point hike, so raising interest rates with tomorrow's Fed meeting, then we'll likely see at least a short-term dump across the markets. And as for future Fed meetings, looking at Fed meetings beyond tomorrow's FOMC meeting, based on what the majority is pricing into the market right now, we should be expecting interest rates to basically stay where they are right now for at least the next few months, basically the next half a year or so. And then roughly around the middle of 2024, the middle of next year, that is when we could expect the next rate cut, meaning interest rates beginning to come back to the downside in around half a year from now, based on what the majority is pricing into the market. And remember, if interest rates go to the downside, that incentivizes more lending activity in the economy, which essentially creates more credits, creates more currency in the economy, which inflates prices, including asset prices. So when interest rates go to the downside, that is fundamentally bullish for asset prices. And inversely, of course, when interest rates go to the upside, or when expectations for a rise in interest rates come into play, that is bearish for asset prices, like what we saw in 2022. So in other words, based on current expectations, we should be expecting more of a bull market continuing into 2024 and 2025, which also lines up with the Bitcoin halving happening next year as well. And as always, I will be tweeting out the new numbers as soon as they get released tomorrow over on my Twitter. So if you don't follow me over there, make sure you're doing that. The link is down below in the description and in the pinned comment for extra real-time updates throughout the day. But anyway, now getting into the Bitcoin part of this video, this is on the weekly Bitcoin chart. And right now, we still have that significant area of resistance at around 36 to 38K. But overall, here on the weekly time frame, not a lot has changed over the last 1 day. So if you're new to the channel and you want to know more about this chart right here, then check out my last video here on the channel. And something similar can be said about this daily Bitcoin chart, because obviously the RSI on the daily time frame is still overbought. So I won't be going into too much detail in this video about that, because I have explained more about that in previous videos here on the channel. And if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin MACD, once again, as I've said over the last few days, we are losing some bullish momentum just in the short term, which is why we've seen a lot of choppy sideways price action over the last few days, nearly over the last 1 week now. But overall, this is still looking more bullish than bearish. So in terms of the trend and momentum on the daily time frame, of course, we're still trending in the bullish direction. We have not reversed into the bearish direction. correction, at least not yet. It's just in the imminent short term once again over the last few days and potentially over the next couple of days, we are simply taking a bit of a pause in the short term from all of that bullish price action. And in fact, if you're zooming into the short term, looking at the 2-hour Bitcoin chart, we can still see this horizontal parallel channel, and this parallel channel could turn out to be a bullish flag pattern if we confirm a breakout above this resistance. First of all, this level of support is sitting at around 33.6k, and this level of resistance is still sitting at around 34.9k, which is right where we saw a rejection from over the last one day. And now if we do end up seeing a confirmed breakout above 34.9k, then in that case, looking at the technical price target, that would be sitting at around 38.4k, which would be roughly around a 10% move to the upside from the point of the breakout. But remember, as of right now, that potential price target and this potential bullish flag pattern is not active because we have not yet seen a confirmed breakout above this resistance, above these previous highs. And also, even in that case, even if we do see a confirmed breakout above around 35k, we cannot forget about that major area of resistance on the weekly time frame that I mentioned earlier in the video. And now if you're taking a look at the 8-hour Bitcoin chart, what's very interesting is right now we are potentially forming a horizontal triangle pattern or symmetrical triangle pattern, which could also be seen as a bullish pennant. And a bullish pennant basically plays out the same as a bull flag if we simply confirm a breakout above resistance, which this line of resistance is sitting closer towards around 34.7k based on descending resistance. And this ascending line of support for the potential bull pennant is sitting at around 34.1k approximately. And if we end up seeing a confirmed breakout above that level of resistance, ideally above these previous highs with candle closes, then that would set up a technical price target at roughly around $40,000 per Bitcoin. And so from the point of the breakout to that price target, we're talking around a 16% move to the upside approximately. But of course, even in that scenario, between now and then, there are other areas of resistance that the price could struggle at, like that area of resistance once again on the weekly time frame at around 36 to 38k approximately. And once again, as of right now, this potential price target closer to $40,000 is not yet active at all because we have not yet confirmed a breakout from this bull pennant pattern. But anyway, getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the 3-day ETH to US dollar chart, and the breakout for the falling wedge pattern is still technically active, meaning we have an active price target at around 2.1k. And if you're zooming into the daily ETH to US dollar chart, of course, we're still running into this area of resistance based on the volume profile indicator sitting in between around 1850 to 1890 approximately. And above that area of resistance, we also have this area of resistance in between around $2,000 to 2030. And as for the daily Ethereum price oscillators, right now the MACD is still looking more bullish than bearish, but once again, just over the last few days in the short term, we have lost a bit of bullish momentum. So basically, we have slowed down from all of this previous bullish price action, but we have not confirmed any bearish reversal signals. And something similar can be said about the RSI. Of course, this is still technically trending to the upside as of right now. We have not yet broken this higher low structure in the RSI, meaning the bullish divergence on the daily time frame is still currently active. And what else is active for the price of ETH also on the daily time frame is this broadening wedge pattern with a price target at around 1980, and this only invalidates if we see a confirmed break back below around 1730. And right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is running into this important previous Fibonacci level of support, which is now acting as new resistance, sitting at around 1810 to 1820 approximately. And so if we end up seeing a confirmed breakout above 1820, ideally with daily candle closes above that level, then at the very least, I would expect the price to continue up towards this area of resistance based on the volume profile indicator. And once again, if we start breaking out above around 1890, ideally back above 1.9k, then we could quickly head back up towards around $2,000 in the event of a breakout. And if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at the 2-hour time frame, we can see the price of ETH is still chopping around sideways in this sideways price range or parallel channel. And once again, as I've mentioned in recent videos here on the channel, this could also play out as a bullish flag pattern if we confirm a breakout above this line of resistance, which is sitting at around 1850 based on these previous highs. And in case you're wondering, this line of support is still sitting at around 1760. So at least in the short term, this is the support and resistance to pay attention to. And believe it or not, even in this choppy sideways price range in between this support and this resistance, you can still make a lot of money very easily. And if you want to know how to do that, then make sure to check out the video in the bottom left of your screen right now, because that video right there shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action, and the video in the top left shows you how you can easily profit if the price is bullish or bearish using AI. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.